Hey everybody, welcome to the Keto Mom page. As promised, we're doing a Q&A, and I've already got the questions written in the above header of the video, but here are the questions that we are covering today. Do I have to have a protein shake after I work out? Do I have to intermittent fast every single day? How do I figure out the right amount of calories and carbs? How do I get started? How do I stay on track? How do I keep going? And what are ketones? That's what we are covering. So, as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? And we will dive into the questions. If you have other questions as we're going along, please ask below, and I would love to answer those questions for you, whether it's during the live or the next one. And so my name is Stephanie again. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. We have been sharing our family's recipes and what has worked for myself and my husband over the last 6 years. We started this page July 1st, 2015. And so we're excited to share with you. I'm not a doctor. I never went to school for nutrition. I've learned over the last 6 years on things like intermittent fasting or how more women should probably eat more protein than the keto diet allots for, or how to get started. It's kind of been a trial and error. I've had the opportunity to talk to lots of doctors and scientists in the keto space, and I've learned a lot. So I'm bringing to you what I've learned from a mom's point of view, not a doctor's point of view. So thank you for sharing where you're tuning in from. I am tuning in from ballet class in Minnesota, right outside as she practices for their performance this next weekend. And I've got 4 daughters. We homeschool, not because we were told to. We've always homeschooled. And we love to share our lifestyle with you. And so we're going to dive in. The number one question was, do I have to have a protein shake after I work out? And the answer is, it's up to you. I'm not a nutritionist, but what I have been told is after you're done working out, specifically pretty hard workouts, I love to lift weights. What do you like to do? So some people love cardio. I talked earlier today about my non-love for yoga. And so some people, I got so many messages, they're like, I love yoga. It's so good for you. You should do it. It helps with longevity of your body. Totally get it. Yes. Yes and yes. I love to lift weights. So in doing that, I know that there's just so you know, when you hear the word keto, and this would be a super interesting question. When you hear the word keto, do you automatically think really high fat, really low carb, like zero carbs? Because these days, I think a lot of people have different viewpoints. There's like cyclical keto, and there's different ways to where there's like a strict keto. There's ways where people incorporate a high carb day. There's people that use keto, but when they're running or during their marathons or they're lifting weights, they add in specific carbs right after they work out. There are so many variations. So I want you to know something. What I love about eating this way is you get to figure out what works best for you. Sometimes that frustrates people because you've got to figure out how your body's reacting to food. Does it fuel you? Good grief. Does it fuel your body when you eat things, or does it make you feel tired? Does it make you feel good, or are you exhausted, or do you feel bloated when you eat all that cream cheese? Like, there's not a one size fits all, right? So what I have learned, and I've watched a lot of people who, like myself, love to lift weights, is it is great to fuel your muscles after you work out. So depending on what your goals are, depending on when you work out, if you like to intermittent fast, right? There's so many different things. After I work out, I prefer to drink a protein shake. You don't have to do that, right? I have a girlfriend or a friend, an acquaintance, a friend, that she is keto, but after she works out, every single time she has a high weight workout, she eats a Pop-Tart because she's convinced your body and your muscles need to be refueled with sugar, and then they grow bigger. And I don't understand it. And I don't think I work out hard enough to earn a Pop-Tart after I work out. So everybody's different, and everybody figures out what works out for them. So what I would say is you don't have to do anything. You don't ever have to do anything. But if you choose to have a protein shake, I prefer to have one after I work out. Right. So I don't know if that helps you, but maybe. Intermittent fasting. Do you have to work or intermittent fast every single day? And I'm going to say the same thing. You don't have to do anything, but some of the benefits of intermittent fasting is you've got a period, a window of eating time, right? Most people do a 16-8 where they are fasting for 16 hours. They're eating for a window of 8 hours. So usually you stop eating after dinner time, and then you go the next day to about lunchtime. So you basically are having 2 meals, right? During your intermittent fasting period, you can have things like water or sparkling water or black coffee or, things that don't have a calorie, right? Everybody's different. If I intermittent fast, I drink ketones during that time. Let me ask you this. Do you intermittent fast? You don't have to, but some of the benefits that people would say is they find themselves not overeating. There's not like a snacking period in the mornings or when they're bored or at night. A lot of people snack at night, but if you follow your intermittent fasting, you're done after eating dinner and there's no couch snacking, TV snacking, boredom snacking, nighttime snacking. So it just mindfully goes, well, no, I intermittent fast. So it keeps the extra boredom calories out of your mouth. It also, the doctors and the scientists talk about intermittent fasting, how it rests and resets your body. And it really helps you be mindful of the food that you're putting in your mouth. So I think intermittent fasting is great. I intermittent fast probably 3 or 4 times a week. I love breakfast, meaning I just love sausage and eggs. So I could eat that every single day and I feel great. But it just depends on what works for you. A lot of people intermittent fast a good portion of their goals of when they're working towards fat loss. And when they reach their fat loss goals, they might add in more of a low carb, high protein breakfast. So it just depends. So it's up to you. And I know you might be going, I just want you to tell me what to do. I'm going to do that in just a second. The next question was, how do I figure out the right amount of calories and carbs to eat for my body? Oftentimes people will go, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds. Tell me how much to eat. And I have to say, ooh, that's not how it works. If you want to know the right amount of calories or carbs per se, or what works best for your body, you're going to have to track your food. You're going to have to go to MyFitnessPal or a carb counter. You're going to put in your age, your weight, your gender, your activity levels. Are you intermittent fasting? All of these things to give you a number for it to go, you should stick to about 1,500 calories a day. Here's the biggest kicker with tracking your food. Oftentimes people get in this mindset of they watch their little pie graph, right? So it says, I need under 20 carbs a day. If you are strict keto, meaning you are doing a keto diet, not intermittent, not lazy keto, not low carb, but a strict keto diet's 80% fat, 15% protein, and 5% carbs. If you're doing that, most of the time people will go, well, I filled in my little pie chart. I'm tracking it online and I've met my carbs and I've met my protein, but I can have more fat. And the biggest thing I say when you're eating food, when you're tracking your food or you're trying to eat the best that you can, I don't care if you're trying to go with calories or carbs, don't get to the end of the day and go, oh my goodness, I've got 300 calories left, or oh my goodness, my pie chart says that I did not eat enough fat today. I'm going to have to go eat some more. My biggest question to you that I will say is, are you hungry? Do not get to the end of the day and just eat food because you have leftover calories or leftover carbs or protein or fat. Don't just go eat to eat, right? So you don't just, here's the question somebody just asked is, how do I know if I ate enough? Well, are you hungry? Oftentimes I think we tell ourselves we've got to be stuffed. You don't have to be stuffed, you overate. And so if you ate an amount of food and you aren't hungry and your body's not growling, and you drank some water and we're not supersizing our meals, but a scoop or two of veggies or a big salad, or I think an appropriate amount of protein on average is 5 to 6 ounces, 4 to 6 ounces. So you can scale everything, right? You can go to a carb counter, or you can track everything that you eat. You can weigh your food. You can have all of those things set for you. You just have to do the work. Or you can go, I'm not hungry. I don't need to eat right now. The clock says it's noon, but I'm not hungry, so I'm going to wait another hour to see, right? You guys, I really wanted a protein shake today, but I actually did not have one. First of all, we're rebooting, but if I were to come like tomorrow, right? I wanted a protein shake so bad. But for example, let's say I ate lunch, and let's say after that I really wanted a protein shake. I'd be like, oh, it's fine. It's a protein shake, but I'm physically not hungry. I have to ask myself on a daily basis, am I grabbing these handful of almonds because I'm bored, or do I need a little snack? Do I need a pick-me-up? Am I eating this meat and cheese in the afternoon because I'm hungry, or I'm just emotionally sitting at the office and I don't know what to do, so I need a snack on something? So don't get to the end of the day with your calories or your carbs or your fats or anything and just eat to fulfill those macros, right? I do drink the protein shake, the Keto Pro. Yes, for those who are asking. It's like a keto protein. I don't know if I have any samples, but I'll let you know if you ask for the trials on those. So I hope that helps. In the very beginning of us starting, we tracked everything that we ate at MyFitnessPal. We like to get a visual of like, oh my goodness, that has a lot of carbs in it or a lot of sugar. I didn't realize I was eating so much. That was more of the realization of how much food I was eating. Today, I don't do that, but I focus on, am I hungry? Am I bored? I usually dish up a smaller amount. I don't overload my plate because my thought is if I'm still hungry, I can go back for more, but I don't need to be stuffed. So you guys, it's a learned, you physically have to pay attention to how your body's feeling. You have to, because if you don't, you're not going to know what it means to be hungry. That's why so many of us fast right now. We do a 60-hour or a 24-hour fast. Because you're going to go, this is what it actually feels like to be hungry, so that you can figure out what your body actually needs. There's thousands of us doing a reboot right now, 60 hours, or some people did a 24-hour today and yesterday, and they were done yesterday. If you want to know more about the 60 or the 24-hour, just post fast below. How do I get started? So I made a little video of how I started taking it one meal at a time, one day at a time, talking about drinking more water and getting the sugary drinks out, and talking about moving your body, not the expectation of an hour in the gym, but just physically moving your body. Talking about one meal at a time, one day at a time. What does breakfast, lunch, and dinner look like? I drink ketones every day. So some fuel sources you can use. If you want to see the video that I made that actually walks you through those steps, post food below, because it starts with your food. So post food in the comments. I will send you the little foods list in the video that I made to help you on your journey. It's basically going to go, here's where I started. Here's how I was consistent. And it was an over time. It took me about a year to truly feel like, oh yes, this is how I feel. And this is what I should be doing and looking for. So if you just need like a starting point, post food in the comments. How do I get started? That was another question. It's the same thing of one meal at a time, one day at a time. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't mess up good for perfect. We're going to start and keep going. You're not going to get to your end result in 1 week, right? You didn't get here overnight. You're not going to get there and back overnight. So we're going to work on it. Consistency, time, patience, and doing the best that you can. You will get there. What are ketones? Ketones are, I don't even think I have one in my car. Oh, I do. It's a packet. It's a packet of powder. It's called Keto Nat. I've been drinking it for 6 years. A lot of people go, do you need ketones? I would say the answer is variable. I do. You might not. Just so you understand what a ketone is. Your body can make ketones if you do the ketogenic diet properly, meaning tracking your food, really high fat, really, really low carb. You're going to have to make sure your water's on point. You're drinking electrolytes for a certain period of time, and hopefully your body will make ketones. Your body makes ketones, well, the whole scientific way. It uses your stored fat as fuel. It makes a ketone body, and the ketones are in your system. It's a fuel source. So think about it like this. Your body will run off of glucose naturally, as most people eat the way they're eating, right? Sugar, glucose, sugar, carbs, glucose. Or your body can run off of ketones, right? And so either one. But when you're doing the diet, your body has to make the switch to where it's running off of ketones. That's where you hear of the keto flu. You feel like garbage while your body's making the transition. Most people don't make it that far because they're frustrated because they don't feel good. Does this make sense? Like your body run off of ketones or glucose, and your body will make ketones. Not everybody's does. It takes a period of time. I've heard doctors and researchers talk about how, due to medical reasons or certain things in people's bodies, their body might not make ketones or a high enough level of ketones. But ketones are a long sustained fuel source. You feel incredible. So years ago, my husband ordered a packet of ketones and he said, if this works, meaning if it actually moves your ketone levels, which it does, and if it actually keeps you on point and it helps you with the energy and the focus and the appetite control, it's going to change thousands of people's lives. And so I have been drinking them for 6 years. You will not tell me that they don't work. I'm actually listening to an incredible 3-day conference or a virtual event on the science and the research behind it. So all I would say is this. This is the only way that I started. My husband started with a diet 8 or 9 years ago, and he stuck with it for 2 years. I did not help him at all. He wanted to lose 50 pounds. He accomplished it, but he was like this, up and down, right? I had babies at the time. Our girls were a brand new baby, 2, 4, and 6-year-old. And I started one day when he handed me a packet of ketones. I shook it up in some water. I drank it, and I felt incredible. And I said, all it did for me in that first day was it helped me not snack, and I didn't need a nap that day. And I needed a nap every single day as a mom. And so I said, I've never felt better in my life, and I would love to help you on your journey, and I'll start making better food choices because I felt good. I wasn't going through the keto flu. I wasn't dealing with cravings. I had all the ketones that I needed, and then from there, I worked on my food. So if you want to know more about this, just post 3 in the comments because there's different ways you can trial it. You don't need it. Some people are going to go, your body can make its own ketones. Yes, it can, and you have to stick with it. So it's incredible, unbelievable. And I will drink it forever and ever and ever because every single day, some of you wake up and drink pots of coffee. I have lots of friends who drink 3 to 4 energy drinks a day, and I drink ketones every single day. They're incredible. They match what your body creates. We have the only naturally fermented ketone on the market that's patented. And when you drink it, it matches what your body creates. It does not stop your body from making ketones. It's going to get your body in ketosis in under an hour. And it's going to help you with your energy, your focus, your appetite control, your mood, sleep, all of those benefits. And then we're going to work on eating better. So if you're just tuning in, we covered, do I need a protein shake after I work out? You don't need anything. You can if you want to. I choose to. Number 2, I'll throw this in there real quick. Oftentimes, not with the packet of ketones I drink, but people will say, hey, have you experienced hair loss with a keto diet? And what I have learned is women need more protein. And so I've learned from a couple doctors that women don't eat enough protein, which can cause hair loss. Not the ketones, the diet. Hence, I actually eat a lot of protein and I don't want to deal with the hair loss. And so I eat more protein. Some people would say if you're doing a keto diet and you eat too much protein, it'll knock you out of ketosis, right? That's why I drink ketones. So I've got ketones in my system no matter what. I eat pretty low carb. I really do eat a lot of protein. I don't measure it. I prefer to eat protein. I feel better that way. I don't have to deal with the hair stuff. And so that's just me. Everybody's a little different. We also talked about intermittent fasting. Do you have to do it every day? You don't have to do anything. It's your choice. I do it 3 to 4 times a week. We talked about calories and carbs, how to get started. If you want a basic video of how just to get started and how to stay on track, post food in the comments and you and I are going to chat. And I'll give you that foods list. If you want to know more about, I call it my mom fuel, but if you want to know more about my mom fuel, just post 3 and I'll give you some ideas of what that looks like and I'll show you some videos. Otherwise, I will come back and do some more Q&A. You can post any questions that you have in the comments. I would love for you to press the share button. Sharing is caring, and I love to help, hopefully just inspire other people to not mess up good for perfect, but to just simply take action on their health and fitness. And the last thing I'll say is this. If you are a mom or a dad, and if you want to help your whole family eat better. That was my goal. And oftentimes the last question that I get pretty regularly is are your kids, hey, Tammy, it's all too confusing. I want you to put food in the comments, so I'll send you the message of how I got started, because I remember the first time that I went to the grocery store and I was like, yes, I'm going to help my husband eat better. And I had a brand new baby and a 2-year-old, 2 littles in the grocery cart. And I walked around the grocery store and you guys, I had never eaten an avocado in my life. This was 6 years ago. I never ate anything green, never a salad in my life. I didn't eat vegetables. And I was like, I can surely do this. And I remember walking through the grocery store and I legitimately, first of all, I think I had 2 kids that were crying and I started bawling my eyes out. And I was like, I don't know how to eat not out of a box. I don't know how to eat anything that I actually have to prepare. And I had this realization of like, this is going to be hard. That's why I made that video, to get you started. I had to come home. I knew I felt good because I was drinking ketones, but I didn't know how to cook and I didn't know how to prepare vegetables. And I didn't even understand the value of food is fuel. So I had to learn that. And don't get overwhelmed. Think about things like, do I need the donut, right? Do I really need the extra Mountain Dew? Do I need to have that candy drawer in my office? It's little things that you know what to do. You just need a couple little tools to help you, right? So in all of that, my goal wasn't to have my kids look at me as mom is doing a diet or dad is doing a diet, but my goal was to help my kids understand the power of food. And my goal was to help other families go, I don't want you mom saying I'm fat or dad's fat or mom's on a diet, because then your kids are going to go, I'm not going to eat that. Mom's on a diet. That's diet food. Dad's fat. He eats that. Mom says she's fat. She doesn't eat. You need to give your kids a healthy understanding of what food does for them. When they eat too much cake and they have a stomach ache, you should say, hey, guess what? Next time, why don't we eat 1 piece of cake, right? Because our body actually doesn't like that much sugar. And so that probably caused you to have a tummy ache. I'm not telling my kids no, or like not talking about us being fat, but I want them to understand that when they don't feel good because they ate too much of something, they have to be able to figure out in their own body, I can have one of those, or I'm going to have a good moderation with that. Or I actually do feel good with eating more vegetables. Or guess what? The green things on my mom's plate actually taste good. I should eat it with her. And so if you can correlate that into your family and go, hey, guess what? We all are going to start eating healthier. Then guess what? Your kids will start making better choices, and they're not going to be where you are at today when they're an adult, because they're going to learn how to look at food as fuel, how to drink more water, how to have a healthy relationship with food and exercise and their mindset. And they don't have to, they get to. And so, but it all starts with you. You're the parent. And so they're going to watch you. They're going to watch your actions. They're going to watch how you eat food, or eat out of emotion, or eat out of habit, or eat out of boredom. And it's a simple conversation of have it with your kids. I am so shocked at how many moms are scared to have these conversations with their girls because they might create an eating disorder. No, they won't. Not if you're open and honest with your kids and you're like, we're going to eat healthier. We want to get stronger. We need to make better choices so that we can think clearer and our bodies are healthy and we can go have fun as a family and we can go hiking and we can go biking and not feel blah, right? Mommy's going to do it. Daddy's going to do it. We want you to do it with us. When I try a new vegetable, I want you to try one with me, right? So parents, it is up to you to get your kids healthy. I don't talk about it enough, but I'm so shocked at how many parents are too afraid to have the conversation with their kids and feel bad for taking away the sugar. I had somebody message me the other day, and then I'm done, about how she felt so bad for my children because how dare I take the donuts away, and how dare I not let them have sugar, and how dare I not keep pop in the house. And I was like, how dare you tell me how dare you? Would anybody walk up to you at McDonald's and go, how dare you feed your kid that supersize me fry and Mountain Dew and they're 3? So this is what I'm going to say. My children are not deprived. When grandma brings donuts to the house, guess what? My kids eat donuts. And when we go to a birthday party, I never, ever, ever say, don't eat that cupcake. don't eat that cupcake. I will say, hey, why don't you have one, right? Hey, we actually still have random snacks in our home, but let's not, if my kids are boredomly in the kitchen all day long, my question to them is, hey, we just ate lunch. Are you seriously hungry? Can you go drink some water? I need them to understand and think about it, because if you ask any doctor, any childhood doctor, guess what they're going to say? They're going to say that obesity in children is probably the highest it's ever been, right? Because we need to teach our kids to look at food as fuel and to not just eat it whenever they're bored, especially since they've been home for a year. It's important. It's important to help them have a good understanding, right? So guess what? We don't keep a lot of crap in our house because my kids get it everywhere else they go. They're not deprived. They just asked me if I would take them for ice cream tonight, and I said no because it's rainy and I don't want to, but doesn't mean I won't take them for ice cream next week. We have a lot of great ice cream places. I don't want them to grow up as a college student and binge. I'm going to let them have some treats. They just don't need it every single day with every single meal. So, off that rant, I hope that was helpful. Message me with your questions. I'm here to help you with whatever question that you have. So whether it was about protein or intermittent fasting, calories and carbs, how do I get started? Post 3 in the comments if you want more information about my mom fuel. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an incredible day. I hope you weren't offended, but if you were, sorry. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.